channel. Let's get this journey started.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of my channel. A few months ago when I started doing the first YouTube channel on the Benz, I spoke about the battery, how to change it, and I did show how this air suspension was bad. Just to show you, look around here. See that this one's all up. I'm gonna try to show you how I came out to determine that it was the air suspension. And I was driving it one day and I got an alarm inside the car, the dash, talking about some suspension formatting, something low, stop immediately, and I stopped. And when I stopped it started going back up a little bit. So right now you can see it's down right now. I'm going to start my car, and I don't want to just be too long on it, because right now when you start my vehicle, the auxiliary pump kicks on. It starts putting air in the air suspension, and then it starts coming back up. The thing is, I don't want to do is keep it running, and then I'm going to burn out that pump, because that's only supposed to activate for a few seconds, and there is a leak in there, and I'm going to show you how I determined that it was actually their suspension and not the airline system in it. But you know, once you see it coming up, that right there is the elimination of process telling you that, hey, it's not my pump, because my pump's working. So you can see right now it's going up. You can see it. It's going up a little bit right now. I'm gonna let it go up a little bit more. And one of the things I want to try to do today is change the air suspension on the driver's side. And then when I get another chance, I change the passenger side. And I do want to change the oil also, because it's been sitting there for a while. And you can see it rising more right now. And then also I just figured out, found out yesterday that the alarm for coolant came on. And as I started looking at it, it actually, you can hear right there, that's hissing. So my suspension, it's bad right now. I don't want it to blow. It's going back down. So I'm going to stop the video right now, and I'm going to move it. But also I've got a coolant leak underneath it, so I've got to take all the pan underneath it. So I'm going to go ahead and move this car right now and put it outside so I can jack it up and start working on it. Just want to show you real quick, inside the dash panel, the warnings I got was the auxiliary battery, which already has been replaced. I do also have a video for that on the YouTube. Also the coolant level, I couldn't find the leak. I also took it to the dealer. They couldn't find the leak, so I guess it fixed itself. But however, I did add coolant, and it hasn't been leaking since then. And I also replaced the battery for the key. And also I'm going to show you what the D service comes from Mercedes, because it's something simple you can do with your own self and not pay the $400 how much they charge for that. And right here I'm just showing you right now where the coolant's leaking from, and that's where I concentrated to looking at. Couldn't find anything at all. You can see it went back down. So one of the things when you try and troubleshoot to see what's wrong with your air suspension is, okay, you start your car and your auxiliary pump kicks on, and it's supposed to put your suspension up. And my car has sports mode, and it's got the comfort standard mode. And so when you're doing that and it starts turning on, that means that your pump is working. So one of the things I came and did was, I said, okay, well, maybe it's leaking from my airline right here. What you do is you grab yourself a bottle with some water and some soap, you know, and squirt it, spray it. Turn the car on, spray it, and watch it work. Spray it liberally all over the place in here, and see if you see any bubbles coming up, because it can be your airline, or it can be over here your seal from your air suspension is bad, which that didn't give me no indication at all. And as you can see earlier, when I started the video and this started going up, it started making a squealing noise, which I already knew, because what I did was when I started jacking up the car, I keep hearing that squealing noise. So that right there, the bladder inside the air suspension, you know, has a hole in there. So is it tearing there or something like that? I haven't seen it yet, because I got to take all this stuff out. But for right now, what I'm going to do is, I don't have the special jacks that have this type of connection here to put it up here to lift it up. So what I'm going to do is, I am going to start the car back up and see if I can fit my floor jack and put it right in here, right there, and it's gonna support the weight. Normally, you know, you don't want to leave the floor jack underneath there while you work on the car, but I am going to do it because that's something I have. I don't have the special jacks for that fitting in there to fit into the little hole of the Benz. So that's what I'm going to do right now. Alright, so right now I got the lug nuts a little bit loosened up before I jack up the car. Now instead of jacking up the car, you're going to hear this hissing noise, and that obviously right there is going to definitely tell you that it is your air suspension bladder that has a hole in it. You're going to hear it right now. It's going to start squealing real loud. So you can hear it. Just make sure I engage my emergency brake also. Alright, so I got the wheel off right now. And what I'm seeing right now, I'm going to have an issue here is right away just inspecting the air suspension. You can see right here, this thing is cracked. It's done. You can pull it down. You can see all the cracks. Also on this side, you can see all the cracks too right here. That is not good at all. So that's giving me indication right now that dirt, you know, obviously dirt gets in here when you're driving on the road and it rains, all that stuff. The tire picks up the dirt, brings it up. This is definitely dirt got in here, and that's why I believe that caused the bladder to burst. So I'm going to start off with the electrical connections, and it's a little bit difficult, but right up in there, in here, it's a sensor. You trace it all the way around, it goes up to down here. So what you need to do is, there's a clip, and it's actually in here. And I'm going to show it to you when I take it out, but you grab a flat tip, pop it up, and once it pops up, then you're going to grab a flat tip and put that in there and just pull the plug out. Alright, once the plug comes out, just take it all the way out. Make sure you pay attention to what you're doing. Alright, and then you can start assembling all this stuff out of here. So you trace the line. This one right here, is the one that is connected to the air suspension. This one's to the brake line. So you gotta be careful with that, okay? And just remember how you put all that stuff in here, because it comes all the way around. Alright? Then down here in the bottom, just gotta take it on this side. It's my neighbor hollering at me. He's probably gonna have to chit chat with me for a little bit, so I'm about to cut this camera off. But either or, I'm gonna push this out and then get the rest of it out. The battery's going low too. It's not good. Not a good day to film. See, I can grab a flat tip and push it down. Try to push it down. There you go. That's off. Then there's another one. It's another one. The same thing. It's got a. There's another one right down here. You can see it right there. Right there. Gotta pull that out there too. and it's gonna push it out. Alrighty, that's it. So now you have the whole plug out. The next thing you want to do is right here, it's like a zip tie. You have to break that off. Alright, I went ahead and got the zip tie out, which is right there. You guys can see it right there. What I did was I couldn't find my pliers, so I just grabbed a pair of channel lock pliers, held onto the thick part, like what called the head, put it in through there, and just snapped it out, and then start removing it out. So I'm trying to do my best to show you guys step by step how to do this, because other sites don't really show everything. Alright, once you get that loosened up, then you can go ahead and take this off. Move this. Alright. You want to take this brake line, also take it out so it's out of the way. Alright, it's out of the way, it's not in the way. Also right here, just unloosen this part right here if you want to, which actually I'm just going to leave it right there. I'm not going to sit there and mess with it. Then pull this out, and it's kind of out the way now. Right, it's out of the way. The next thing you want to do now is I'm gonna go ahead and before I start taking out the arm, loosening up the arm bolt right there, and then the lower bolt down here. I'm gonna go ahead and come up here. I'm gonna find the appropriate size for my airline and loosen it up so I can go ahead and loosen that up, get all the air expel that's in there so it's not under pressure, and then loosen up these bolts. Just want to show something real quick. When you are taking the airline out, it is a 10mm, right? And you want to be careful when you put it at an angle. You want to make sure you put enough leverage in there so when you're turning it lefty to loosen it up, you're not going to round it out. And then this right here is the 13mm. And then, just to show you another trick here, 21mm is what's going to go in here. And it was like real hard to take out, to unloosen it, real hard to unloosen. So what you want to do is, if you have a mallet, use a mallet, but I grabbed a 2x4, which is right here, a 2x4, and just started, hold it tight in there and start, banging it out from the bottom, give it leverage until it got loosened up. So I was able to loosen it up, just to try to show you some of the tricks that I do when I, the stuff gets stuck in there and you're trying to get it out of there and you can't get it out. Alright, so the upper control arm, the bolt right here, it is a 16mm. Just loosen it up as much as all the way down till you get to, you can't see the threads no more, and then you put your ball joint remover and slowly start turning it up slowly. Be careful not to put your hands around here in case the thing might snap, whatever. So I already got it up where the point where it already popped up. You hear a big pa, and then just loosen this up, and then take it off. Now here's your ball joint remover. Just be careful though when you're putting it in, not to mess up the boot, because once this boot breaks and grease comes out, you're already in big trouble. Right? So then you just grab your 10mm and just finish loosening up the bolt. You can see the control arm is going up now, and here you go. You can see it came off already. Just be careful, okay? So now what I gotta do now is just loosen up the bottom bolt, and the whole air suspension will come off, which I'm gonna try to focus the camera and adjust it so you guys can see that. Alright, at this point though, since it's almost coming off, I'm gonna go ahead and loosen up the last 3 bolts and just take it off now so it can come down. That's what I'm about to do right now. Alright, I went ahead and got the 3 bolts off. Alright, so now all I got left, you can see through here, is the bolt right here. You're looking at it right there. Just take, go ahead and loosen it out. I'm gonna go ahead and loosen it up, take it out. .21 millimeter. Alright, that's off. So now, gotta be careful now, because once I take it off, this whole suspension is gonna drop, which I really don't care because it's already beat up, but just want to be very careful though. Be sure. I'm gonna double check just to make sure there is nothing that I'm gonna hurt or pull or snag. Any wires, everything's already loose. Now I'm gonna go ahead and lift this up a little. Start trying to take this off. We'll need a few bangs with a hammer to loosen it up. Let's see. Let's grab a hammer and just bang it some on the threads. Doesn't really matter because this is getting replaced. Alright, got the air suspension out. You know, I try to keep it real as I can. This is definitely very difficult in the bottom part. As you can see, I beat the crap out of the threads in that one, and I'm going to return this back for a core charge to get some money back. But I forgot to put the bolt back. And then bang it from the bolt, because the new one does come with a new bolt. You know, sometimes you do stuff and I don't do mechanic work like every single day, so a lot of times I forget certain things, and it is what it is. But I had to buy, after, you know, beating it up and trying to put some PV blaster for a while, I wound up buying a 16-inch bolt joint separator fork, and I literally, you can see like the whole boot is tore up. The whole boot's tore up. You can see all the grease coming out and everything. So what I did was, let me take the camera out of here. What I did was, I came over here on the side and put it this like this, and put it right in between, you know, the framing of the arm here, lower arm, and just freaking weld it and weld it and weld it until it finally got loose. Not gonna lie, it's hard work. It wasn't that easy. You know, I was hitting it with this side of the of my mallet here, just banging it until it finally came apart. So it's already out. And as you can see right here, this is all beat up and stuff like that, which we already seen that in the beginning, and all that dirt got in here. I really can't see the inside of this because it's you know, you can't really see the inside of it, but the bladder is inside here, so this is where the dirt came inside here, and it punctured. The new one is right here. I did buy an art knot, and as you can see, you get some, you know, you return back to old one, you get some back. Like I said, I bought it from Rock Auto for $5.50. You can do it. This got a Continental rubber case in here. It's actually better than the one you see over here. This is just a rubbery stuff in here. This is much better made, well constructed. It's got a lifetime warranty on it, so I don't ever expect any issues to go with this. And this is like a better, like a silicone material compared to the one over here. That's all, you know, rubbery material. So they've got better parts, stuff like that. So, all right, let me get my stuff ready and show you guys how to put this back in. Just want to show you, taking this plate off. This whole thing rotates already because it's all beat up and old. So in the new one, as you can see, if you don't know which way it goes, this is actually dummy proof. I try to go one side, it's not going in. I rotate it. There you go, it goes in. So if you go the other side, it's not going to go in. So it's pretty much dummy proof. You know? And then now I'm going to go ahead and put it up.
will tell you next time when I do the other side, the driver's side, I'm definitely gonna take it to a lift, because this is no joke. I'm trying to do this on the floor. Alright, I'm going to try to Alright, what I did is try to tighten it up a little bit so I can get the nut started in here. Alright, so I got this in here real quick. I'm gonna put this right here, this piece of wood in here, so it can hold the lower arm up. Now I'm gonna do is grab the big nut. So the first step is gonna be the nut, which is a 22 millimeter. It's gonna go in here. Alright, so I'm gonna just show the steps because I have to get the camera out the way so I can go in here. 22 millimeters gonna go there. Once I do that, then I'm gonna grab the upper control arm and I'm gonna grab the channel lock pliers and compress this down so I can go ahead and get that attached and tighten it up too. And then after that, to the top and then pull the cables connection back up, and I should be wrapping it up. Well, pretty much what I'm going to do now is just, I took out the old strap out, just pulled it out. I'm putting this zip tie that came in here with it, and then I'm going to pull the connections back in and run this new wire all the way like you did when you took it out, the original one. And once that's done, then I'm going to go ahead and op test it. Alright, I already got everything pretty much tightened up. Everything's ready to go. I'm looking at the instructions from ArtNut, and it's telling me to remove the original fitting here. I'm trying to take this out. So pretty much what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this off, and then slide the new one in. Slide the new one inside, and then tighten it up with a 10 millimeter. I'm going to start the car right now and see what happens. There you go, it's lifting up. Oh yeah, baby. You guys don't know how excited I am to have my car back. Start driving it again, and it's actually going up. And so is the back. Now it's just torque the lug nuts at 110 foot-pounds. Thanks for tuning in. If you like my content, subscribe below and follow me in my journey as I show you how to do car maintenance and home repairs.